Chapter 2.3, Frequency Tables and Line Plots. So our vocabulary for today there are three. We have frequency table, we have line plot, and we have range. We'll be working with each one of these, one in each example. So take a moment to please write those down, and then come back and we'll go over example 1. All right, example 1, a frequency table. A frequency table is just a table that lists how often data occurs. So here we have favorite colors. Your frequency table needs to always have a few certain things. It needs to have a title. What is it that my frequency table is going to be covering? What's the data about? In this instance, it's favorite colors. You will then also have your data. This is going to change each time. Okay, in this case, it's what color am I counting? It could be what food is it if we're doing favorite foods. Whatever it is that your data is about is what goes in this column. The last two columns, the tally and the frequency, these are always the same. So, how do I use it? Once you have created your header, your title and your header for your chart, you are going to start by writing down the colors in the chart. So the first one I see is blue. Blue, there we go. I see purple is an answer. Red is an answer. There's another blue, yellow, and green. Now, if you're the kind of person that likes things nice and orderly and wants to put the colors in order, you know, rainbow color, red, orange, yellow, that's just fine. I'm just going and putting them in the order that I see them. Order does not matter for this, okay? And the last color we have down here is orange. So now that I have my colors listed, I'm going to make a tally mark in this column for every time that color appears. So I see right off the top here, I have two blues, blue and blue. So I'm going to make two tally marks for them. Purple, red, two more blues, blue and blue. Yellow, green, so there's a yellow, there's a green, another purple, red, orange, yellow, red, orange, yellow, green, blue, green, blue, and finally yellow, blue. Okay, so now I have all of my tallies. There are a couple different ways you can do this. I chose to go down the list and make a tally each time I saw that color. You could also search for all of the blues, blue, 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 and make a tally for each one. You just need to make sure that you are somehow marking that you've already tallied that color if you don't go in a nice orderly list. Okay? The last step is to write the frequency. This is a digit. The frequency is simply the digit representation of your tally. So in this case, I have 6 blues, 2 purples, 2 reds, 3 yellows, 2 greens, and 1 orange. And that's it. That is my frequency table. Okay? All right, so now let's go talk about line plots. So a line plot is like a graph. You use it with a number line, which is why it's called a line plot. We put it on a number line. It shows the data using x's. So in example 2, the number of DVDs each customer rents when he or she wants a video store are these long list of numbers right here. These represent how many videos someone rented. Use a line plot to interpret the data. So I'm going to start by making a number line. Now you need to make sure that your number line is significantly lower than the top of your page. See how my title, because you need to have a title, my title is up here, DVDs rented my customer, but look at all this space I left here. That is because my data is going to go above my number line. So the first thing I need to do is identify the lowest and the highest number in my data set. So here I have 1 is my lowest, and I see that 6 is my highest. So I need to make sure that I have enough data points. So I'm going to go from 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I went 1 below and 1 above. Now, each piece of data is represented by an X. These X's need to be the same size and are shown vertically. So I go down the list. I have a 3. So I'm going to make an X above my 3. Then I have a 5. Then I have a 1. Then I have 2 2s. So I'm going to make an X for 2 and put a second one right on top of it. Then I have another 1. And I'll cross these out for you so that you know I've done them. Okay, there's another 2. Then I have 2 3s. A 4. A 1 and a 2. My 6. 2 more 2s. A 4, a 3, and a 1. So 4, 3, and 1. So this is your line plot. Now the directions say use a line plot to interpret the data. Note, important, interpretations should be full, complete, restated sentences. So the line plot shows that the most people rent 2 DVDs. That's one interpretation. There are many, okay? So what each of these shows me, 1X equals a customer. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 6 customers rented 2 DVDs. It's the most. It's my mode. So 2 is my mode. It's the most number of movies that are rented. Then I have a 1 and a 3. Most people rent 1, 2, or 3. A couple rent 4, and one even rented 5, and another one 6. But most people will rent 2, 3, or 4 DVDs. Just remember that those interpretations, whatever your interpretation is, needs to be written in a full, complete sentence. All right, so example 3, let's go talk about range for a minute. Range is a difference. Okay, now in this example, I'm not talking about a vertical distance, okay? I'm talking about a distance between numbers. That should be an S. Let's try that again. Erase. Okay, so the range is a distance between numbers, specifically your highest and your lowest. So geography, in 1849 and 1850, 6 different surveyors made the following measurements of the heights of Mount Everest. So we have the heights written up here, 28,990 all the way down. So these 6 heights. What is the range of the measurements? So the range, I need to identify my highest and my lowest, or my largest and smallest numbers. So I see that 29,026 is my greatest, and 28,990 is my smallest. So I'm going to subtract 29,026 minus 28,990. I subtract, do some borrowing, and the range equals 36 feet. And the reason it's 36 feet is because all of these have units on them. So the difference between the lowest and the highest numbers is 36 feet. Okay, that is all for today. Do your QCs and CYUs, and we'll go over it the next time I see you.